Right now, behind the noise of every matchday result and every tactical tweak, there's a quieter game being played at Stamford Bridge. It's not about formations or set pieces, it's about identity. It's about what this club becomes in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years from now. Because while the rest of the Premier League chase short-term glory, Chelsea are building something different, something dangerous if it clicks, something chaotic if it doesn't. And that's the tension we're living in right now as Blues. 1 minute we're watching Willian score the winner against Liverpool and thinking, yeah, this is it, the kids are coming through. The next, we're hearing rumours about bonus clauses, contract complications, and hidden financial traps that could derail the whole thing. Meanwhile, Enzo Fernandez is quietly having one of his best starts to a season, 3 goals, running the midfield like a maestro, and now one of his own teammates reckons he could play up front. Sounds mad, doesn't it? But when you look at the numbers, maybe it's not so crazy after all. And then there's the future arriving in the summer, Geovany Quenda, the Portuguese sensation everyone's talking about. Chelsea beat Manchester United to his signature, but now the real question is, where does he actually fit? Because if you thought the attacking depth was already crowded, wait till you see what's coming next season. That's what we're unpacking today on PL Central News. 3 stories, 1 video, all the context you need to understand what's really happening in West London right now. Alright lads and ladies, welcome back to PL Central News. Hope you're all keeping the faith, staying blue, and ready for another deep dive into everything Chelsea. Today we've got 3 absolute belters lined up. A contract clause that could cost the club millions, a tactical experiment nobody saw coming, and a summer signing that might just reshape our entire attack. But before we get stuck in, be honest with me, do you think this young squad can actually compete for the title this season, or are we still a year away? Drop your take in the comments, smash that like if you're backing the rebuild, and stick around till the end because that 3rd story, it's a proper game changer. Let's go. So, Willian, the name that's got every Chelsea fan buzzing right now. 18 years old, Brazilian flair, already scored the winner against Liverpool in front of a packed Stamford Bridge. The kid's got magic in his boots, and he's barely started. But here's the thing, while we're all celebrating what he's doing on the pitch, there's a financial subplot brewing in the background that could end up costing Chelsea a serious chunk of change. And it all revolves around one award, the Golden Boy. Now, if you don't know, the Golden Boy is basically the Ballon d'Or for young players. Every year, the best, under 1 talent in Europe gets recognised. Massive honour, career-defining moment for most players. Estevao'S been nominated, no surprise there. He's been unreal for Palmeiras, then came to Chelsea, and instantly looked like he belonged. The kid's special, no doubt about it. But here's where it gets interesting, and a little bit complicated. According to reports from Portal do Palestra, the deal that brought Estevao'S from Palmeiras to Chelsea wasn't just a straight transfer fee. It came loaded with bonus clauses, performance-based add-ons, the kind of stuff that can turn a big transfer into an absolutely massive one. And one of those clauses? If Estevao'S wins the Golden Boy award within his first 3 seasons at Chelsea, the club has to pay Palmeiras extra millions. Now, does that mean Chelsea don't want him to win? Of course not. But it does mean there's a part of the recruitment team quietly doing the maths, wondering if they're about to get hit with a bill they didn't budget for this year. Because let's be real, Estevao'S got a serious chance of winning this thing. He's up against some top talent, don't get me wrong. Paris Saint-Germain's Désiré Doué, Juventus's Kenan Yildiz, and even a couple of Chelsea's own, Yorel Hato, Mamadou Sarr, and the incoming Geovany Quenda, who we'll talk about later. That's 4 Chelsea-affiliated players on the shortlist. Absolutely mad when you think about it. Shows you the direction this club's heading in. But Estevao'S the one with the spotlight on him right now. He's the one who scored that goal against Liverpool. He's the one the fans are singing about. He's the one who looks like a future superstar. And if he keeps performing like this, the Golden Boy's his for the taking. So what does that mean for Chelsea financially? Well, we don't know the exact figure. These bonus clauses are rarely made public, but if you look at similar deals in recent years, we're probably talking anywhere from 5 to 15 million euros. For a club dealing with FFP concerns, wage bills that are already stretched, and a squad that's still being built, that's not pocket change. But here's the other side of the coin. If Estevao'S wins the Golden Boy, it means he's performing at an elite level. It means he's justifying the hype. It means Chelsea got the signing right. And in the grand scheme of things, paying Palmeiras a bonus for that? That's the price of success. Because the alternative is signing a young player who flops, paying the base fee, and getting nothing in return. That's the real waste of money. So yeah, there might be a small part of the financial team at Chelsea hoping he doesn't win just yet. Maybe next year, maybe the year after, when the budget's in a better place. But the coaching staff, the fans, we want him to win. We want him to be that good. Because if Estevao'S lifting trophies and collecting individual awards, it means Chelsea are doing something right. It means the project's working. And let's not forget this kid's already a hero. That goal against Liverpool wasn't just any goal. It was a statement. It was an 18-year-old kid, stepping up in a massive moment and delivering. That's the kind of mentality you can't teach. That's the kind of player you build a team around. So, will he win the Golden Boy? Hard to say. The competition's fierce. Yildiz has been brilliant for Juventus. Doué's been turning heads at PSG. And then you've got the Chelsea lads all competing against each other. But if I'm being honest, I wouldn't bet against Estevao'S. He's got the talent, he's got the platform, and he's got the narrative, the young Brazilian wonderkid who came to the Premier League and instantly made an impact. That's the kind of story that wins awards. And if Chelsea have to pay Palmeiras a few extra million for it, so be it. That's the cost of signing the next big thing. Now, if Estevao'S plays against Nottingham Forest this weekend, Chelsea fans will be hoping for more of the same. Another moment of magic, another reminder of why this kid's so special. Because right now, he's not just a player, he's a symbol of what this rebuild could become if everything clicks. But what about the players already here, the ones who are supposed to be leading this team right now? Well, that brings us perfectly to our second story, and trust me, this one's a bit of a head-scratcher. Enzo Fernandez, World Cup winner, club record signing, the heartbeat of this Chelsea midfield. 3 goals already this season in the Premier League. Joint top scorer for the Blues alongside Moises Caicedo, putting in performances that have pundits like Jamie Redknapp calling him magnificent. And now, one of his own teammates reckons he could play up front. Yeah, you heard that right. Striker, number 9. The bloke who's supposed to be dictating play from deep, threading passes, controlling the tempo apparently. He's got the finishing ability to lead the line. At least, that's what Badiashile thinks. In a recent interview with Chelsea's official website, Badiashile was asked which defender or midfielder would make the best striker. Without hesitation, he said, "I think Enzo." Now, at first glance, that sounds like a bit of banter, doesn't it? Teammates having a laugh, throwing out random answers in a light-hearted interview. But when you actually look at the numbers, it's not as mad as it sounds. Enzo's already on 3 Premier League goals this season. That's from midfield, mind you, not from playing as a second striker or a false 9. Just from doing his job, getting forward at the right moments, and finishing his chances. His expected goals, his XG sits at 3.54, which means, based on the quality of chances he's had, he's scoring almost exactly what he should be. He's not overperforming, he's not getting lucky, he's just clinical. 11 shots so far this season, 1 assist, and a growing reputation as a midfielder who can hurt you in the final third. That's not normal for a deep-lying playmaker. That's not normal for someone whose main job is to recycle possession and break up opposition attacks. But Enzo's not a normal midfielder, is he? He's got that World Cup winning pedigree. He's got the technical ability to play anywhere in the middle of the park. And clearly, he's got an eye for goal. So, could he actually play as a striker? Well, let's be realistic here. Enzo Maresca's not about to start him up front this weekend. Chelsea still have proper strikers. Liam Delap's injured at the moment, yeah, but there's still João Pedro, Marc Guiu, and Tyreek George in the squad. George, by the way, is getting serious praise from England, under 2-1 manager Lee Carsley, who reckons the 19-year-old has what it takes to become a traditional centre-forward. That's high praise. That's someone who knows a thing or two about developing young players. So no, Enzo's not going to be deployed as a number 9 anytime soon. But here's the interesting part, the fact that Badiashile even suggested, it tells you something about the way Enzo's being perceived inside the dressing room. He's not just the midfielder who keeps things ticking over. He's not just the bloke who plays the safe pass and keeps possession. He's a goal threat. He's someone defenders have to worry about. And that changes everything. Because if you're an opposition manager preparing to face Chelsea, you've already got to deal with the pace of the wingers, the movement of the strikers, and the creativity of the attacking midfielders. But now you've also got to worry about Enzo arriving late in the box. You've got to track his runs. You've got to respect his shooting ability. That's an extra layer of complexity. That's an extra problem to solve. And for Chelsea, that's exactly what you want from your midfield. You want players who can contribute in every phase of the game. Because let's be honest, in modern football, you can't just rely on your forwards to score goals. You need your midfielders chipping in. You need your fullbacks getting forward. You need goals from everywhere. And right now, Enzo's delivering that. But the real question is, can he keep it up? 3 goals in 7 appearances is a brilliant start. But we've seen players have hot streaks before, only to cool off as the season goes on. Enzo's challenge now is to maintain that output, to keep making those runs, to keep being in the right place at the right time. And if he does, if he finishes the season with double-digit goals from midfield, then Badiashile's comment stops being a joke and starts being a genuine tactical conversation. Because imagine a world where Chelsea's struggling for goals and Maresca decides to push Enzo higher up the pitch. Stick him in a false 9 role, let him drop deep to collect the ball, but also give him the freedom to get into the box and finish chances. It's not that far-fetched, is it? We've seen managers experiment with midfielders in attacking roles before. We've seen players like Kevin De Bruyne, Bruno Fernandez, and even Frank Lampard back in the day, all midfielders who became goal threats. Enzo's got the technical ability to do the same. He's got the football IQ. He's got the finishing. The only question is whether Maresca ever needs to use him that way. Right now, probably not. Chelsea's attack is functioning well enough. The kids are stepping up. The system's working. But football's unpredictable. Injuries happen. Form dips. Tactics need adjusting. And if that moment comes, don't be surprised if Enzo gets pushed further forward. Because Badiashile's seen it in training. He's seen what Enzo can do in and around the box. And if a defender's that confident in his teammates' attacking ability, there's probably something to it. For now, though, Enzo's job remains in midfield, controlling games, dictating tempo, and, apparently, scoring the odd banger when the opportunity arises. This Saturday, Chelsea travel to the City Ground to face Nottingham Forest. Enzo will need to overcome a knee inflammation issue to feature after returning early from Argentina duty, but Chelsea are hopeful he'll be available. Forest are in a difficult spot. Manager Ange Postecoglou hasn't won a single game since taking over in September. 0 wins in 7 matches across all competitions. The pressure's mounting, and there's already talk about potential replacements if things don't turn around quickly. Chelsea should be winning this game, and if Enzo's fit and adds another goal to his tally, well, that striker conversation might just get a little bit louder. But speaking of the future, let's talk about someone who's definitely going to be playing up front, or at least somewhere in attack. A kid Chelsea fought hard to sign, a kid who's already making waves in Portugal, and a kid who's going to add even more firepower to this squad come summer. Geovany Quenda, 17 years old, Portuguese wonder kid, and very soon, a Chelsea player. Chelsea beat Manchester United to his signature back in March 2025. That alone tells you how highly rated this kid is. Ruben Amorim, who worked with him at Sporting Lisbon, was desperate to bring him to Old Trafford. But Todd Boehly got there first. Big money up to £42 million, long-term contract, another piece of the puzzle. And now, according to sources close to the club, the plan is for Quenda to stay at Sporting for the entire 2025-26 season before joining Chelsea's first-team squad in the summer of 2026. Not loaned out, not sent to the academy for gradual development. Straight into first-team contention when he arrives in summer 2026. That's a statement. That's Chelsea saying, we believe in this kid, and we believe in him now. But here's the question everyone's asking, where does he actually play? Because Chelsea's attack is already stacked. You've got Estevao'S on one wing, you've got Jamie Gittins and Alejandro Garnacho potentially joining, you've got Kendry Páez arriving from Ecuador, you've got established players like Noni Madueke, Mykhailo Mudryk, and Pedro Neto. So, where does Quenda fit? Well, according to transfer insider Graham Bailey, Chelsea are planning to use him as a winger. Not a wing-back, which is apparently what Manchester United had in mind, but a proper winger, an attacking threat, someone who can stretch the pitch, take on defenders, and create chances. Bailey said, the plan is for him to come in at the moment. Things may change coming into summer, but at the moment the plan is to bring him in, It'll be interesting to see how they use him. I suspect he'll be used as a winger rather than a wing-back. That makes sense, because Quenda'S not a defensive player. He's not someone you stick at full-back and ask to track runners for 90 minutes. He's got pace, he's got skill, he's got creativity. He's already on a goal and 4 assists this season for Sporting, and that's while playing in the Champions League, facing top-level opposition. Thierry Henry recently praised him. That's not nothing. When a legend like Henry singles you out, you know you're doing something right. But here's the challenge for Enzo Maresca. How do you fit all these attacking talents into one team? Because if Quenda comes in as a winger, and Estevao'S already playing, and Kendry Páez is arriving, and you've potentially got Gittins and Garnacho as well, someone's going to be left out. That's just the reality of having this much young talent. You can't play them all at once. So, what's the solution? Rotation. Heavy rotation. Chelsea are competing in multiple competitions. Premier League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, Europa Conference League, potentially Champions League next season if they qualify. That's a lot of games. That's a lot of opportunities for young players to prove themselves. And that's exactly what Maresca's going to need to manage. Keeping everyone happy, keeping everyone sharp, making sure no one feels frozen out. Because the danger with signing all these wonder kids is that if they're not playing, they get frustrated. And if they get frustrated, they start looking elsewhere. Chelsea can't afford that. Not after spending this much money. Not after putting this much faith in the project. So, the key is going to be game time. Real, meaningful minutes. Not just token appearances in dead rubber cup ties. Quenda needs to feel like he's part of the plan. Not just a name on the squad list. And if Maresca can do that, if he can manage this young squad properly, keep them all engaged, and get the best out of them, then Chelsea are going to be absolutely terrifying in a couple of years. Because imagine a front three of Estevao'S, Quenda, and one of the other young talents, all of them under 21, all of them with world-class potential, all of them hungry to prove themselves. That's the future Chelsea are building. That's the vision. But it only works if the plan is executed properly, if the coaching is right, if the game time is distributed fairly, if the development is managed carefully.
Because these kids aren't ready-made superstars yet. They're raw, they're inconsistent, they're going to make mistakes.
But that's fine. That's part of the process. The question is, can Chelsea afford to be patient? Can they give these players the time they need to develop, while still competing for trophies? That's the balancing act. That's the challenge of this entire rebuild. And Quenda's arrival next summer is going to test that more than anything. Because he's not coming in as a backup option. He's not coming in as a project for the future. He's coming in as a first-team player, someone Chelsea expect to contribute immediately. And if he does, if he hits the ground running like Estevao'S did, then this whole project starts to look a lot more realistic. But if he struggles, if he needs more time, if the step up from Portugal to the Premier League is too big too soon, then Chelsea are going to have some serious decisions to make. Do they stick with the plan and give him time, or do they pivot and bring in more experienced players? For now, the plan is clear. Quenda comes in, Quenda plays on the wing, Quenda becomes part of the future. But football doesn't always go to plan, does it? And that's what makes this so fascinating. We're watching Chelsea build something in real time. We're seeing the strategy unfold week by week. Some of it's working, some of it's still uncertain, but all of it's worth watching. Because if this works, if all these young players click, if the system holds together, if the trophies start coming, then Chelsea are going to dominate for the next decade. And if it doesn't, well, that's a conversation for another day. For now, Geovany Quenda's coming to Stamford Bridge in the summer, and Chelsea fans should be buzzing. So, there you have it. 3 stories, 1 video, all the context you need. Estevao'S Golden Boy nomination could cost Chelsea millions, but that's the price of signing a superstar. Enzo's quietly becoming a goal threat from midfield, and one of his teammates reckons he could play up front. And Geovany Quenda's arriving in the summer to add even more firepower to an already stacked attack. This is Chelsea right now, young, ambitious, and unpredictable. So, which one hits hardest for you? The bonus clause, the striker theory, or the summer signing? Let me know in the comments, smash that like button if you're backing the rebuild, and share this with every blue who refuses to give up on this project. Until next time, keep the faith, keep it classy, and remember London is blue, and this is PL Central News.